Obama. Now, I haven't seen any of Obama's speech, but we're going to deep dive into it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it.
Please welcome America's 44th president and the love of my life, Barack Obama.
Got to be the smoothest dude that I ever seen in my entire life that ever ran for president. Policies was absolutely trash. Advocated for the alphabet community. That's his legacy. But this dude know how to smooth it out, don't he? Let me speed this up.
Hello, Chicago! Thank you.
I just don't understand the obsession with the Obamas. It's crazy. The obsession with these people is insane. America really loves this couple. Like, they really love them. No matter what they say, no matter how much they attack y'all kids, no matter what they give y'all, it's Obamas. It's crazy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Nah, don't worry about it. Y'all applauding too much.
Oh, no, that's enough.
That's enough. That's enough. I don't want this applause. I don't want it.
It's good to be home. It is good to be home, and I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up. I am feeling ready to go. Even if I am the only person stupid enough to speak after Michelle Obama. I am feeling hopeful because this convention has always been pretty good to kids with funny names who believe in a country where anything is possible. Who has spent her entire life trying to give people the same chances America gave her. Someone who sees you and hears you and will get up every single day and fight for you.
Certainly ain't Biden. He going to bed at 8 p.m.
President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
Hell no. Listen, there ain't nothing that you can do that's ever going to sell me on the idea that I need Kamala Harris in a situation room if we having a crisis or a problem or a country that's deciding that they want to go to war with another country. It ain't nothing that you going to ever tell me, nothing that you can say to me that'll ever tell me that Kamala Harris, hell no. Listen. Let's just think about this for a second. Honest to God, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's put this together. Let's really, really put it in perspective and think about what we're doing right now. Let's think about it. Let's focus. Let's be mindful about what we're doing. Let's be careful about who it is that we align ourselves with. And let's not be dismayed. There's nothing that you can tell me that is ever going to convince me that this woman, no way, no how will you ever convince me that Kamala Harris, that I'm going to sleep well at night, that my rights are protected, that our borders are secure, that the policy is great. And I'm going to get to the Obama speech, but I just got to really, really put this in perspective. I don't care how much they lie to me. Nothing that you will ever tell me is ever going to help me to understand or convince me that this woman needs to be at the helm of the United States of America. No way, no how. You can forget it, buddy. You can forget it, Barry. No, Barry. Not this time. Not a third time. Fool me once, not a fourth time. Fool me twice, fool me 3 times with Biden at the helm? No. No, I'm not going, bro. I'm not going, man. I'm not going, bro.
It's been 16 years since I had the honor of accepting this party's nomination for president. And I know that's hard to believe because I have not aged a bit. But it's true. And looking back, I can say without question that my first big decision as your nominee turned out to be one of my best. And that was asking Joe Biden to serve by my side as vice president. Other than some common Irish blood, Joe and I come from different backgrounds, but we became brothers. And as we worked together for 8, sometimes pretty tough years, what I came to admire most about Joe wasn't just his smarts, his experience, it was his empathy.
I'm going to read y'all
and his
super text
decency
shortly.
And his hard-earned resilience, his unshakable belief that everyone in this country deserves a fair shot. And over the last 4 years, those are the values America has needed most. At a time when millions of our fellow citizens were sick and dying, we needed a leader with the character to put politics aside and do what was right. At a time when our economy was reeling, we needed a leader with the determination to drive what would become the world's strongest recovery. 15 million jobs, higher wages, lower health care costs. At a time when the other party had turned into a cult of personality, we needed a leader who was steady and brought people together and was selfless enough to do the rarest thing there is in politics, putting his own ambition aside for the sake of the country. History will remember Joe Biden as an outstanding president who defended democracy at a moment of great danger.
Lies. History will remember Joe Biden as the person that left the borders open and let his son come into the White House drunk and high at the same time. That's how they're going to remember Joe Biden.
And I am proud to call him my president, but I am even prouder to call him my friend. The torch has been passed. Now it is up to all of us to fight for the America we believe in. And make no mistake, it will be a fight. For all the incredible energy we've been able to generate over the last few weeks, for all the rallies and the memes, this will still be a tight race in a closely divided country. A country where too many Americans are still struggling, where a lot of Americans don't believe government can help. And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question. Who will fight for me? Who's thinking about my future, about my children's future, about...
Maybe we should ask all of the immigrants that's getting all of the monies that's coming straight from the taxpayers about who they actually fighting for. That's all I'm saying, because this is a long speech, so I definitely want to get through it. I got it sped up, and I want to hear exactly what he has to say, but I just want y'all to actually be able to sort through the BS. Remember this as you listen to Barack Obama serenade y'all with this speech. Remember this. When Joe Biden decided that he was going to step down, and Kamala Harris decided that she was going to fight for the nomination that she was given, Barack and Michelle both withheld their endorsement of Kamala Harris and said that we should, as a nation and as Democrats, y'all should vet through to see and let them win their nomination at the Democratic National Convention and see who the other candidates are. They were the last ones to endorse Kamala Harris. Gavin Newsom, he was on board over there in California, right? Nancy Pelosi, they was all celebrating. AOC, they was, oh my God, yes, Kamala Harris, she's going to be the one. The Obamas, who they asked to speak, were the ones that they reserved their endorsement of Kamala Harris until the very last minute when everybody else was on the line and they had no other choice. They were the ones that withheld their endorsement of Kamala Harris. Remember that. Remember that. As they sit in here and they cake for y'all, remember that, okay?
Our future together. One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on. The other day I heard someone compare Trump to the neighbor who keeps running his leaf blower outside your window every minute of every day.
Did Obama become a comedian or something like that? Honestly, did Obama become a comedian? I'm trying to understand what this speech is about. He hasn't actually said anything that would galvanize his people and say that I don't believe that Obama even really wanted to be there. I believe that this is a requirement. You have to get up here. You got to bring your chick. She got to speak. You got to speak. And y'all got to actually galvanize the group, because I don't believe that most of America is really rocking with Kamala Harris. I don't.
Now, from a neighbor, that's exhausting. From a president, it's just dangerous. The truth is, Donald Trump sees power as nothing more than it means to his ends. He wants the middle class to pay the price for another huge tax cut that would mostly help him and his rich friends. He killed a bipartisan immigration deal written in part by one of the most conservative Republicans in Congress that would have helped secure our southern border, because he thought trying to actually solve the problem would hurt his campaign.
Nope, that's not true. What happened was, and this is why we have to be informed, because I see people that came on my panel and they be asking me that question, well, why did Trump and why did the Republicans kill the border deal? And again, for the 1900th time, it's because they tied it to actually continuing to fund wars over in Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. Republicans said that this should be a completely separate issue and it should not take bipartisan support for you guys to secure our borders when y'all over here suing Texas. But they leave out these details and they give them these speeches and these talking points, and they don't allow for you to actually do the deep dive. And this is why y'all have to be tuned into the greatest morning show on earth. Make sure y'all hit a like. And if y'all not subscribed, then shame on you. If you not subscribed to this morning show, shame on you. They did not want to tie funding to proxy wars into securing the border because they were all going to say, well, this is all about national security. That was the issue.
Do not boo. Vote. He doesn't seem to care if more women lose their reproductive freedom, since it won't affect his life.
More ad hominem attacks.
And
we
most
already
of all,
addressed
Donald
this.
Trump wants us to think that this country is hopelessly divided between us and them.
It is divided.
Between the
righteousness,
real Americans, who of course support him, and the outsiders who don't.
And the devil. Between righteousness and evil. That's what this is about. That's what this election is really about. This election is about the people that actually want what's best for their children and their families, and the people that want to allow for the inmates to run the asylum. That's what this election is about. This is about whether or not we want to allow for them to put stuff inside of your schools, and you want to allow for Planned Parenthood vans to be outside of the Democratic National Convention, or if you actually think that it should go back into the state's hands and that the people should decide, as a republic, that the people should decide per state of what happens within their state. This is about whether or not you think that it's best for us to put money into Americans, or if you should leave the borders open in order to make sure that you take care of illegal immigrants that shouldn't be here in the first place, that you first cloaked as though you were looking at them as asylum seekers. Instead, you was actually just leaving the borders open for them to come in the first place. That's what this is really about. I don't trust the Obamas. I don't care how slick they talk. I don't care how good their speechwriters are. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. At all. At all.
And he wants you to think that you'll be richer and safer if you will just give him the power to put those other people back in their place. It is one of the oldest tricks in politics from a guy whose act has, let's face it, gotten pretty stale. We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know
it was great.
that the sequel is usually worse.
It was great. It was a great 4 years.
America's ready for
Look
a
at
new
Don
chapter.
Cheadle. Jesus Christ.
America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
He don't even believe that. He's saying it and he don't even believe it. He didn't even say it
And
convincingly.
Kamala Harris is ready for the job. This is a person who has spent her life fighting on behalf of people who need a voice and a champion. As you heard from Michelle, Kamala was not born into privilege. She had to work for what she's got. And she actually cares about what other people are going through. She's not the neighbor running the league.
Is that what our record says as the district attorney over in San Francisco?
She's the neighbor rushing over to help when you need a hand. As a prosecutor, Kamala stood up for children who had been victims of sexual abuse. As an attorney general of the most populous state in the country, she fought big banks and
So now you know who in the crowd. It's a whole bunch of Californians that went over to Chicago in order to cheer for the Obamas when their speeches.
profit colleges, securing billions of dollars for the people they had scammed. After the home mortgage crisis, she pushed me and my administration hard to make sure homeowners got a fair settlement. Didn't matter that I was a Democrat. Didn't matter that she had knocked on doors for my campaign in Iowa. She was going to fight to get as much relief as possible for the families who deserved it. As vice president, she helped take on the drug companies to cap the cost of insulin, lower the cost of health care, give families with kids a tax cut. And she is running.
So what they basically telling us is that she was the one that was at the helm of what was going on in the Biden administration. So we should also associate all of the L's that we took as a country to her, right? Because we've all been trying to figure out who's been running the White House. Has it been Kamala Harris or is it Joe Biden? So what they're basically telling you is that she is the one that should be taking credit for everything that happened over the last 3.5 years. Remember that, okay?
For president with real plans to lower costs even more and protect Medicare and Medicaid and sign a law to guarantee every woman's right to make her own health care decisions. In other words, Kamala Harris won't be focused on her problems. She'll be focused on yours. As president, she won't just cater to her own supporters and punish those who refuse to kiss the ring or bend the knee. She'll work on behalf of every American. That's who Kamala is.
Cap.
And in the White House, she will have an outstanding partner in Governor Tim Walz.
Shout out to Tampon Tim.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I love this guy. Tim is the kind of person who should be in politics.
Hey, how convincing was that? Of all of the things and all of the different speeches that Obama has given, this is probably the least convincing speech. It almost looked like they put a gun to his head and said, listen, man, you got to come out here and you got to give a speech and you got to actually try to make it sound as convincing as possible. Oh, okay. Hey, listen, Tim, I love this guy. Stop it, bruh. Stop it. That was the least convincing endorsement of a politician that I've ever seen in my entire life from this administration. Stop, bro. Stop, man.
Born in a small town, served his country, taught kids, coached football, took care of his neighbors. He knows who he is, and he knows what's important. You can tell those flannel shirts he wears don't come from some political consultant. They come from his closet, and they have been through some stuff. They have been through some stuff. That's right.
Reading super chat shortly. I don't know how much more we're going to do with this.
Kamala and Tim have kept faith with America's central story. A story that says we are all created equal. All of us endowed with certain inalienable rights, that everyone deserves a chance, that even when we don't agree with each other, we can find a way to live with each other. That's Kamala's vision. That's Tim's vision. That's the Democratic Party's vision.
Cap.
And our job over the next 11 weeks is to convince as many people as possible to vote for that vision. Now, it won't be easy. The other side knows it's easier to play on people's fears and cynicism, always has been. They will tell you that government is inherently corrupt, that sacrifice and generosity are for suckers. And since the game is rigged, it's okay to take what you want and just look after your own. That's the easy path. We have a different task. Our job is to convince people that democracy can actually deliver. And in doing that, we can't just point to what we've already accomplished. We can't just rely on the ideas of the past. We need to chart a new way forward.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I can't believe that I'm about to say this. This speech is boring. They should have had flip-flopped it. They should have had Obama go first and then Michelle Obama go last, because we know that they want her to run for president in the first place. Honest to God, I just went on here and I paid my electric bill. While I was sitting here listening to this speech, it's so unconvincing, it's so fake, it's such a fake endorsement and a go along, get along game. This speech is boring. Honest to God. I literally just went and paid my electric bill while he was telling this speech. Y'all said no, it's not? Y'all want to hear some more? Okay. Let's see if we can get something out of this.
To meet the challenges of today. And Kamala understands this. She knows, for example, that if we want to make it easier for more young people to buy a home, we need to build more units and clear away some of the outdated laws and regulations that made it harder to build homes for working people in this country. That is a priority, and she's put out a bold new plan to do just that. On health care, we should all be proud of the enormous progress that we've made through the Affordable Care Act, providing millions of people access to...
They said I'm multitasking. Yeah, I really needed to pay my electric bill. I paid it early. It's not even due yet. I paid it early. I'm just multitasking.
Affordable coverage, protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices.
He's not even saying nothing that he wrote himself or that he believed. You can tell by the way he's saying it. Listen, I'm going to slow it down to the normal speech. Listen to this.
Protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices.
That's convincing to you? Is that... Come on, man, look. I give Obama credit. I think that he's a great orator. I think that he inherited one of the worst economies from one of the worst presidents in my lifetime, in Bush II. I'm not a fan of Bush II. I'm not a fan of just the Republican Party itself. But what he's saying is not convincing at all. Objectively, come on, y'all. He don't even believe in the stuff that he's saying right now. Listen to how he's saying it and what he's saying. Y'all got to start to read and look in between the context clues. Listen to what he's saying, and you tell me that if somebody is telling you this and they got the teleprompter in front of them, that this is convincing to you. Listen to it.
Protecting millions more from unscrupulous insurance practices.
Let's listen to more. This is what y'all want. I give the people what they want. Chat lives matters. This is what y'all want to be convinced. Okay, let them convince you.
I noticed, by the way, that since it's become popular, they don't call it Obamacare no more.
More jokes. More jokes.
Kamala knows we can't stop there, which is why she'll keep working to limit out-of-pocket costs. Kamala knows that if we want to help people get ahead, we need to put a college degree within reach of more Americans. But she also knows college shouldn't be the only ticket to the middle class. We need to follow the lead of governors like
Oh, God. What is happening in this lifetime? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why is she crying? Why is she crying? Why is she crying? What the hell is happening? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tim Walz, who said, if you've got the skills and the drive, you shouldn't need a degree to work for state government. And in this new economy, we need a president who actually cares about the millions of people all across this country who wake up every single day to do the essential, often thankless work, to care for our sick, to clean our streets, to deliver our packages. We need a president who will stand up for their right to bargain for better wages and working conditions. And Kamala will be that president. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. A Harris-Walz administration can help us move past some of the tired old debates that keep stifling progress. Because at their core, Kamala and Tim understand that when everybody gets a fair shot, we are all better off. They understand that when every child gets a good education, the whole economy gets stronger. When women are paid the same as men for doing the same job, all families benefit.
So you Derek Jackson now? You Derek Jackson now, Obama? Okay, I got it.
They understand that we can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
That's what you did. That's what you did. Oh. For the people in the back, let me play that part again because I want y'all to really understand what you're dealing with. Come on, y'all. Come on. What is happening right now? What is going on? That's why they called him the deporter in chief. They told him that he was the one that was separating kids from their parents and that he was locking them in cages.
They understand that we can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
Obama deported more. Obama had ice on your head. On your head. Obama had ice. Ice was on your head top when Obama was in office. Trump largely championed and continued what Obama was doing when it came to illegal migrants and deportation. Am I hearing something wrong? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Don't sit here and tell me that I'm off. Don't sit here and tell me that I'm off. Stop it, bruh. Stop it, bruh. Stop it. Come on, man. Are we not hearing what we think we hearing? So this is an excuse to leave our borders completely open? If this is not the pot calling the kettle black? Oh, my God. Y'all ain't going for this shit, are y'all? I'm sorry. Excuse my language. Y'all not going for this, are y'all?
Just like we can keep our streets safe while also building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve and eliminating bias, that will make it better for everybody.
I'm not doing this no more. I'm off. I'm off, Obama. Because listen, you're not going to just sit here and lie to me. You're not going to sit here and act like that I didn't hear what I heard when I heard it, and I know I heard it when I heard it. You know what I'm saying? Get off my